Hi everybody, welcome back to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. It's Scott here with another little video, something we thought we'd do. The FIFA 23 early access started today if you are a PC user or if you set your time zone to New Zealand on certain consoles. So what we thought we'd do, we'd take a quick look at the Newcastle United squad, have a look at the ratings, have a look at the player faces, check out the kits, and just see what St James's Park looks like in the new game. We're not going to be playing a game at all in this. We're just going to be taking a look, but we do have more FIFA content planned for the future. So what I'm going to do, let's jump straight into the game, and we'll take a little look at the lineups first and see what the ratings are for the players. We'll then jump into a game, I'll pause it, and we'll have a little look at the player faces. We'll take a look at what St James's Park looks like, and I'll give you my reactions, and we can have a little talk about some player ratings and what not. So yeah, we'll jump in the game and we'll see how it all looks. Okay, so here we are in the game. I've turned off all the music because we'll probably get copyright struck if we keep the music on. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go along to customize. We're going to have a look at the team sheets for Newcastle. So right off the bat, we have a 79 attack, a 76 midfield, and a 78 defence. I think I'd probably agree with that. Maybe give us one more point for attack, considering we've got Risak, St Maximum, and Wilson. Maybe would bolster that a little bit. But with Joe Linton and Willick, I think that does kind of bring it down, because I personally don't think they're on what everyone would agree with, especially not Joe Linton. He's got a bit of an upgrade this year. We'll take a look at that, but not by much. I think we'll start with Nick Pope, who is the new keeper for Newcastle this season, of course. He comes in with an 81 rating. He's got 80 diving, 82 handling, 75 kicking, 83 reflexes, and 84 positioning with a 49 speed. He's right-footed. He is medium attacking work rate and medium defensive work rate, and of course he is 30 years old. Let's move up to Fabian Cher. I don't know if he got a little bit of a downgrade this season. I'm not too familiar with the with what they were last season, but you can see here he's 51 for pace with a +8 based on his real life performance at the moment. 67 shooting, 70 passing, 67 dribbling. The big ones for him obviously as a defender: 78 defending with a +9 and 74 physical with a +1. He has two-star skill moves, but he does have a 3-star weak foot. He's obviously right-footed. He has a high attacking work rate and a medium defensive work rate, so make of that what you will. We'll move over to Sven Botman, obviously one of the new signings in the summer. He's on a 58 pace, 37 for shooting, 60 for passing, 62 dribbling, 80 defensive, and 84 for physical. He again has 2-star skills and a 3-star weak foot. He's the other way round to Fabian Cher. He's left-footed. He's got a medium attacking work rate and a high defensive work rate, and of course he's a lot younger at 22 years of age. He's probably going to be a nice one moving forward in career mode if you do play that side of this game. Let's move over to Matty Target. Matty Target, 77 overall, 69 pace, 47 shooting, 72 passing, 72 dribbling, 74 defending, and 69 physical. He's got 3-star skill moves, which I'm surprised at. I didn't think he was that technical with skill moves and that sort of stuff, but there we go. And a 2-star weak foot. He's got a high attacking work rate and a medium defensive work rate. Incidentally, Sven Botman is 80 rated. I forgot to mention that. Kieran Trippier, obviously, I think he's our top rated player in the entire squad on 84 overall. He's got 70 pace, 64 shooting, 82 passing, 77 dribbling, 80 defending, 72 physical. He's got 3-star skill moves. He's got a 4-star weak foot rating. He is right-footed, of course, and then a medium attack and defensive work rate at 31 years of age. Bruno is coming in at 81 rating. That's a little low for my liking, to be fair. I'd imagine he'd probably be around an 83 if his performances from the end of last season or anything to go off. I think he should be a bit higher, but it is what it is. He might get little upgrades. He might get nice little ultimate team cards moving forward. But he's got 69 pace, 67 shooting, 79 passing, 81 dribbling, 76 defending, and 77 physical. 3-star skills, 2-star weak foot. He's predominantly right-footed. He's a high attack and defensive work rate at 24 years of age. You can't really ask for any more with Bruno on that one. Joe Willick, 75 overall. I think that's probably about right. Maybe he's a 76 or a 77. Although on recent performance, I'd probably say maybe he's a 74. He hasn't been the best so far this season, but it is what it is. 76 pace, 72 shooting, 69 passing, 77 dribbling, 67 defending, 70 physical, 3-star for skill moves and weak foot. Right-footed predominantly, and a high attack and defensive work rate with a 22 age rate. And we've got a very young team at the moment. Now then, moving on to Joe Linton, a player that a lot of people thought should maybe have gotten a bigger upgrade than he did. I think, though, he was only 71 or 72 last season. I'm probably wrong about that. I do know in Ultimate Team he's been upgraded from a silver card to a gold card, and rightly so. He's got 76 pace, 67 shooting, 66 passing, 76 dribbling, 67 defending, but an 84 physical. That is a monster of a rating there for Joe Linton. And I think if anything else went a bit higher, he'd probably be jumping up to the 77s and 78s overall. He's got 3-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. He is right-footed, and obviously he has a high attack and defensive work rate at 25. We'll move over to Alan St. Maximum, 81 rated. He normally gets a nice little Ultimate Team card where he's about 95 rated or whatever it is, and it's an unbelievable card. Obviously, this is just the main game. None of that's come out yet, so we'll go off his main stats. 90 pace, 73 shooting, 73 passing, 88 dribbling, 27 defending. I think that's a bit low. I think this season he's proven he can get back and defend a little bit. I think maybe that could be a bit higher. That'll obviously change as the season goes on. And a 68 physical. I actually think that's a little bit high for St. Maximum. I don't think he's that much of a physical player, but there we go. It is what it is. Obviously, St. Maximum has the 5-star skill moves. He has the 4-star weak foot. He is predominantly right-footed. He has a high attacking work rate and a low defensive work rate. I think that's also a little bit harsh to give him a low defensive work rate, again, based on this season. Obviously, I appreciate they're probably basing this off last season, so maybe in January when they do little stats bumps, that'll change to high, medium. We'll see what happens. Another new boy in the squad, Alexander Isak, did have to transfer him in myself because the day one patch hasn't yet come out for this. He's 80 rated overall. I think a lot of people think maybe he should be a bit higher, but it is what it is. 83 pace, 79 shooting, 68 passing, 83 dribbling, 29 in defensive, 68 physicalities, 4-star skills, but a 5-star weak foot. And I didn't realise this about Isak, so he's probably good with both feet, which is probably something to look forward to for the coming season. He's a high attacking work rate and a low defensive work rate, but again, he's 22. We have a very young team. I think Fabian Cher, Kieran Trippier, and Nick Pope are our oldest. Yeah, even Target's only 26. Miggy Almiron is another, I would say, one of the older ones, 28-year-old, but he obviously looks like he's 5. He's got a 78 overall rating, which I think is about right. Maybe it should be a little bit less. Maybe it's a 76 if you base Joe Linton on 75 and Willick on 75. Maybe Almiron should be around that. But he's got an 86 pace. I think I sell him a bit short there. I think he's a bit faster than that personally. 71 shooting, 73 passing, 79 dribbling, 53 defensive, a 61 physical. Again, I don't really agree with that. I think it should be a bit less. Maybe he's a 55. He's not that physical. He does get muscled off the ball quite easily in games. 4-star skills, 2-star weak foot. Again, I think that should be 1-star. He is very left-footed. He's got so many left feet, he hasn't got a right one as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, maybe that's being a bit generous for Mickey to give him 2-star weak foot, but maybe that's just how the ratings go in this game. Obviously, he is left-footed, like we've mentioned, but he does have a high attack and defensive work rate, as we all know. Let's have a little look at the bench. Colin Wilson, 79 overall, 81 pace, 78 shooting, 66 passing, 77 dribbling, 42 defending, and 76 physicals. He's got 4-star skills, which again is surprising. I didn't realise he was that much a skill player, but there we go. 3-star weak foot, predominantly right, high and medium attack and defensive, and he's age 30. Ryan Fraser, 76 overall. We're not going to go through all of these. You can see them on the screen, but the big ones for Ryan Fraser, I'd say, would be an 83 pace. Again, he's probably a little bit faster than that, but that is what it is. And 80 dribbling are good for him. 3-star skills, 4-star weak foot, and a medium attack and defensive work rate. Matt Ritchie has 60 for pace. I think that's quite generous. Probably dropping down to 55. I don't think he's got the legs he once had, But 72 shooting, 75 passing, 75 dribbling. Probably agree with all of those. Again, 4-star skill moves. I don't know where they're getting that from. I haven't seen Matt Ritchie do many step overs or Rabonas or anything like that, but there we go. High work rate, obviously, and 32, age 32. I think he's the oldest player in the squad. Maybe he's called Darlow will also be be around that age if I remember rightly. Jacob Murphy, 73 rating, 79 pace. I think that's probably about right. 74 dribbling, and then 60s, 67, 69, 64, 62 for the others. Probably about right. I think maybe 72 is a little generous. Maybe he should be a 72, 71. But give him a 73 overall. That isn't too bad. 3-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Like, if you'd ask me, if you say Matt Ritchie's got 4-star skills and Jacob Murphy's got 3-star skills, I don't agree with either of those, to be honest. I think they should be the other way around, but that is what it is. And obviously a high medium work rate. And he's 27, which I did not realise. Dan Burn, defender that came in January, 77 overall rating. He's not very fast. He hasn't got very good shooting, but he does have great physicalities, great defensive at 80 and 77. And, bang average for passing and dribbling. 2-star skills, 3-star weak foot, medium and high attack and defensive work rate. Emil Kraft, 74 rating. Krafu is looking at 65 pace, 58 shooting. Defensive and physical are obviously his two important ones with a 74 and a 71. 3-star for skill moves and weak foot, medium for attack work rate. And then we've got Carl Darlow, who is, he's 31, which always surprised me with Carl Darlow. I always think he's still, that 22-year-old or 21-year-old that came into the squad all those years ago. But he's now 31. For goalkeeper, he's got 77 diving, 71 handling, 78 reflexes, and 74 positioning. 1-star skills, 2-star weak foot, medium attack and defensive work rate. And then we'll have a look at the reserves. We're not going to go through all of these, but we'll just go through the overall scores. You've got Jamal Lewis on 75, Dummett on 73, Mankey's on 74, Joe Shelby's on 77, Matty Longstaff is on 67. You've got Gillespie on 67. You've got Fernandez on 74. Again, Fernandez is still in the side. That day one patch, he hasn't been taken out. Sean Longstaff is on 74. Probably agree with the 74 for Sean Longstaff. I think that looks about right when you look at those based on how he's been performing recently. Callum Watts on 67. Lewis on 72. We haven't seen much of Lewis, obviously, either last season or this season. Had some injuries. Maybe we'll see him more this season, but he is there. You've got Elliot Anderson on a 67. He's a youngster, he's only 19, so that's probably about right. I think anything higher for a youngster, and you're looking at, maybe he should be a bit older for that. So he's just come on the scene. Obviously, he had a good season last season, so I don't think they really know how to rate him properly. But 67 is what he's at. And we got Santiago Munoz, not the guy from the Goal movie, but the signing we got last season, I believe, on a 66. Chris Wood's on a 76. The reason he's right at the end is because I brought in Risak and then swapped them over on the bench for Wilson. So he would normally be a bit higher in this lineup, but he's on 76 overall. So he's a decent player. 77 shooting, 80 physicality, 2-star skills, 3-star weak foot, high medium attack and defensive work rate. We've got Savage coming in on a 58. Again, another youngster. Probably what you'd expect from a youngster. Obviously, if you look at him compared to Elliot Anderson and the age difference and the skill difference, there's quite a gulf. So, Elliot Anderson probably isn't doing as bad as I probably initially said. And then we've got White coming in on a 58 overall. Again, probably what you'd expect for a 19-year-old to this game. So that's all the players in the squad. What I'm going to do, we're going to go into a game. We'll have a little look at the kits. I have noticed that the kits don't have sponsors on them. Some of the teams do, but some of them don't. So let's go into kickoff. It has got a live update. And I'm just going to put myself in here. Just do classic match. Don't want to mess around with any of that. Now I'm going to put Newcastle on here so that we get St. James's Park. But let's have a look at the kits. So there's the home kit, and there's Joe Linton looking pretty nice in that kit. As you can see, there's no Castro, but I do believe, yep, there's a Noom logo on there. So I don't know why they didn't get the Fun 88 on, but they did get the Noom. Maybe it's they can't show sponsorship for gambling on this, or maybe it just hasn't been applied. We'll see what happens on Friday if that gets updated there. You could also see on the other side, I don't know who that is. It's a generic face. It probably looks like it's going to be Sven Botman, which, yeah, number 4, so that'll be Sven Botman. That's done him a bit of a dirty there, I think, for that face. He maybe missed the scan, maybe he didn't join by the time they did the scans. But he's in the blue away kit. One thing I've noticed, the shorts are a different colour to what we're actually using. I believe we've got gold shorts when we're playing, and that's what they're selling in the stores. Although the infant kits and the youth kits have got blue shorts, and I do believe the press shots had blue shorts as well. So who knows what colour they're supposed to be. Obviously, I'm guessing EA got this information from the club, so they've just applied what they had. And then we'll take a look at the away kit. Obviously the white and green, but there is the little map on the kit there. It doesn't seem to be fully accurate. It does look like there's a, looks like there's 2 St James's Parks on there from what I can see, and just lines everywhere. So it actually looks like it's dirty or it's creased on this. But there it is. Again, got the Noom logo, but no Fun 88. The green maybe is a little light for my liking. I cannot remember. And I also think, aren't the socks white on that kit? I can't remember. I don't really look or buy the socks. I've only got the shirts. But there are the 2 kits. Okay, so just about to go into a game. What I've done, I've loaded up Newcastle v Newcastle in a friendly, and we've made 2 different teams. So I've got like the reserve team that I'll be controlling, and then the main team that the computer will control. And what I'll do, I'll go into the game, we'll have a look at what it looks like, and then we'll pause it and have a look at some of the faces. It's nice to see what St James's is going to look like. This will be interesting. It's nice to see with no Sports Direct for a change. They've obviously picked a rainy day. We do get local hero. I think we've had that for a few years. That's quite nice. No flags, which is a bit of a shame. Nothing on the Gallowgate stand. There are no Castor logos or anything either. No ad boards at all, really, so that might come in an update. We'll see what happens. They do have the screen up, which I've noticed there. Yeah, I mean, the sound of this, I don't know if it comes through on this video, but in my headphones, the atmosphere sounds outstanding. They always do a good job with this. Yeah, I think that's the right jacket as well. Notice the away kit doesn't have the jacket on, although it's more of a fade, I think. We'll see some of the faces here, but we'll stop it and take a look at them a little bit further on when I can get the game to pause, and then we'll do an orbit of the players to have a little look. But the presentation, obviously, it's FIFA. It's always going to be good. So we'll have a little look at what these players look like. These are the main ones. It's the main starting lineup. It looks like Sven Botman's been done rotten, and so did Matt Target there. It didn't look too great. We'll see what happens though with the faces. Well, Matt Target looks okay there. It looked a bit worse when he was walking up, but we'll see what happens when we pause it and what comes up with this. Bit of Blade and Races going through as well. That's always nice to hear. No sponsors on the kit still, so it looks like that's probably going to come later. They'll probably have to take the kits to the club shop and get them ironed on like they had to at the start of this season. I'm just going to start this briefly and just pass the ball around just so I can get a replay going. You have to wait a few minutes. That should be enough. Here's Carl Darlow, first and foremost. Let's just zoom in. And yeah, I mean, they do the scans, and they've probably done the scans and used that from a few years, but you can get a good close-up of the kit as well. Also in the rain, it looks really nice. Incidentally, this is on ultra settings on the PC in 4K, so this is probably the best that you'll see this game looking. It'll probably be the same on PS5 and Xbox Series X, but this is pretty beefy PC that I've got here, so get some good, let's zoom right in, you can get some good detail as you can see there. So Carl Darlow looking like Carl Darlow. We'll move over to Javi Manquillo. Let's just pan around him, get some good views of the stadium when you do this as well, which is really nice. But there you go, there's Manquillo. Again, not the best look, but I still think it's great that they do this. Notice the collar on the top doesn't look too good. Everything else seems fine, but that collar just doesn't look right at all. We'll just fly through some of these players. We'll do Dan Burn. Let's zoom in. He's holding his head, of course he is. I don't know what is going on there, so let's see if we can just move it back a bit. So there we go. There he is. So there's Dan Burn. Looks really good. Again, probably was able to get the scan, and he's been in the Premier League for a while, so they've probably had scans of him for a few seasons now, which isn't bad. Jamal Lewis as well. I'm expecting this to be really good because he's obviously club captain. He's been scanned for a few years. The beard as well. They've really got. He's not looking too happy there, but we'll see if we can get his eyes open a bit so it at least looks like. And there we go. Again, not 100% perfect, but it's probably as good as you'll get with this. We'll move on. Here is, who's this? This is Paul Dummett, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Paul Dummett, again, been around for quite a while. He's probably had a lot of scans over the years from EA. Looking good, looking just as he should do. No complaints there from Paul Dummett. Who have we got here? This is Sean Longstaff. He has been done dirty in the past. Sean Longstaff, I don't think, was scanned a couple of seasons ago and he looked pretty bad, but that's a good little scan of him. The hair's looking a bit weird. As you pan around, his head gets a bit flat, but apart from that, looks okay. Let's see if I can just move him around a bit. There we go. That's a better look. Yeah, it looks pretty decent for Sean Longstaff. We'll move on. This is Matt Ritchie. Again, been around for a while in the Premier League, so should be a decent scan, and that is a good scan of his face. As you can see there, everything seems okay from Matt Ritchie's side. Who we got now? Jacob Murphy. Again, it's been around for a little while, so the scan should be decent. It's okay. It looks like Jacob Murphy. If you were in a room with your eyes closed, you could probably tell it was him. Again, some of these aren't the best. They obviously put a bit more effort into some other players than they do of some. But he's had a few scans over the years, so he's probably decent for that. Who we got here? Who is that? That's Ryan Fraser. I don't know what's going on with Ryan Fraser's hair. He's never been decent on FIFA. Let's just see if I can move him around a bit. Yeah, it kind of looks like Ryan Fraser again. Looks like Ryan Fraser's stunt double. Decent enough. Nothing to write home about though. We'll move on. Here's Chris Wood. Chris Wood, obviously New Zealand international. So a lot of the international players do get more of a scan. Seems okay. I don't remember Chris Wood having hair that short when he's played for us, but there we go. There's Chris Wood, and I think the last one on this team is Alexander Risak. Looking very angry there. Let's see if we can get a better look of him. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent. Again, he's probably been scanned from other leagues in the past, so he's got quite a decent look to him there. It does look like Alexander Risak. Let's just see if we can move him around a bit. See if we can get a bit more look from him there. There we go. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. It's not the best, it's not the worst. I've seen a lot worse. Moving on to Nick Pope. Again, looks a bit like him. It's not the best look, but it's decent. You can't ask for much more, really, these graphics, until they really go fully, I think, next generation with this and right off the PlayStation 4 and Xbox Series. No, the Xbox One X. That naming convention is the worst. Until they do that, I don't think we're going to see a much improvement over the years of these. But at least he's got a bit of a scan on him. It's pretty decent. Again, the hair's a little bit awkward, but they always are with this. Moving on, there's Kieran Trippier. Again, he's an England international. He's been on for a long time. So normally, these are the type of players that get a bit more attention to detail than some others. And you can tell with this, it's, there's no doubt that's Kieran Trippier there. Looking pretty nice. Who have we got? That's Bruno in the distance there. But it's Fabian Cher. Again, probably, yeah, it looks like him a bit. It's not 100%, is it? I mean, even that look on his face there, he knows he doesn't look like Fabian Cher too much, but it's decent enough. They've got his hair okay. But yeah, it's all right. Let's see. I think this one is going to be, yeah, that is generic white man face number 1. That is not Sven Botman whatsoever. Bit of a shame. I think probably he signed before they did, after they did the scans, after the media days and all that. So maybe he missed all of that, and that, he's only young, so he probably hasn't been around long enough to get a scan or be worthy of a scan at other clubs, because he's not been number 1 starter or anything like that over the past few years. But there we go, Sven Botman, generic face number 1, with quite a weird looking haircut as well, to say that. I hope we got Matt Target. Yeah, that's pretty decent for my target, actually. I kind of slated it before, but it's not bad. Let's move it around, get his eyes open a bit. Yeah, hair's a bit off, but apart from that, yeah, they've got his, you know, he's got this kind of little jowly thing going on with his mouth. We've got that quite well. Looks pretty decent for my target. Move on, yes, Joe Willick. We've seen him a little bit earlier. That's I mean, that's a great Joe Willick, actually, that looks just like him. Got his hair down to a T. I don't know what happened there. Maybe we turned into someone else, but yeah, that's decent. That's a decent Joe Willick. Let's have a look. This is Bruno. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best, but again, not the worst. I've seen a lot worse, like Sven Botman. So yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby at all. Joe Linton, I think they got pretty well last season, and yeah, they've just built on that from the looks of things, or they probably haven't touched it at all, but that looks decent from Joe Linton. The one thing I've noticed, if you go like that to the faces, they do look like they've been punched in the face, and it's like it's caved in a bit. They look a bit squished. There's not much depth to the heads. I've seen with a few of them, and I think if we look at Callum Wilson a bit later on, he's very skinny for a Callum Wilson. There's Miggy Almiron. I think this is a pretty decent representation of Miggy Almiron, to be fair. It looks like him. He's not smiling, but it does look like him. He's got his eye on the ball there, obviously, so he's not going to look at us. He's not going to give us a wave. But that's nice. It's a decent Miggy. It has been for a few seasons, to be fair. Yeah, so this is Callum Wilson. So as I've said, look, if you look at Callum Wilson, he's a bit skinny. Again, they've been doing Colin Wilson for a few years, so they've got him off to a T, and you can really see the detail in the skin, all the pores and everything there. They do a really good job every year. You got to give them that. Although a lot of people say it's the same game every year, and you could argue it is, but they do improve on these faces. And finally, for this current lineup, we've got Alan St. Maximum, and again, I think 2 years ago he got generic face number 3 with horrible hair and everything. They've actually done him properly. I think they did him last season, and this season they've built on it. No headband, and obviously he has cut his hair. It looks more like Christian Atsu's hair, to be honest, than St. Maximum's, but that is what it is. They obviously only have so many templates they can build on. So yeah, face is decent, but the hair could do with work. And does he have the band? He has a bandage on his hand, but I don't think, let me hide this, yeah, no bandages on his legs or anything, so they haven't got it perfect for St. Maximum, but it's decent enough on there. And I think that is all of them. Yeah, we're back to the ball. And I mean the ball, look at that, they do good with the footballs as well. That's obviously the new ball, the all-weather one as well. Really nice detail. Just looking at the grass as well. I know that sounds really sad, but the grass seems to be folding under the ball and denting a little bit, so we'll see how that looks. What I'll do, I'll make a couple of substitutes, and I'll bring on some other players. Okay, so that Elliot Anderson. That is Elliot Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. That is a horrible... They've done him dirty. Again, he's only young, but, I mean, they haven't even tried to make that look like Elliot Anderson. That's shocking. Feel sorry for the poor lad. If that's his FIFA face. Hopefully next season he'll warrant having an actual scan, and they'll do him right. Who we got there? There's Joe Shelby. He gets scanned quite a lot. Again, not hard to do a bald guy, I don't think. They don't have to get the hair right very easily. But yeah, it kind of looks like Joe Shelby. It's not 100% perfect, but it's not the worst you'll see. Here's Jamal Lewis. Yeah, it's pretty decent. They tend to do well. Like I say, he's been in the Premier League for a little while now, so he should be getting a few scans under his belt from EA. That looks pretty decent. That's a good Jamal Lewis. It's just moving around a bit. Yeah, that's not bad. And who is that? Is that Santiago Munoz? Yeah, it is. Have they scanned him? No, that's not a scan, is it? That's a very generic face. You can normally tell because there's not many blemishes on the skin or anything, where if I go back to Jamal Lewis, you'll see like he's got like blemishes and acne and all that on his face, and they do capture it really well. And then you look at this and he's like porcelain skin. Like he's got the beauty filter turned up to 20 on his phone when he's took his selfie. But it's decent enough. Obviously he's never really started for Newcastle. I think he's had maybe one appearance of pre-season, so for the senior team that is, so he probably doesn't warrant a scan just yet. And is this the other one? Yeah, this is Kraft. Let's see what Kraft's like. Yeah, that's a quite decent Kraft actually. He's got one of them faces that probably works very well for this. They've got his hair down to a T as well. That's a good little scan for Emil Kraft. If I do say so myself. And I think that's all of them, isn't it? So as one of the Leazer's end and the Leazer's corner. Yeah, it's decent, isn't it? They're good at this, and there's obviously the away stand. You can tell because they're a shade of white, and they just put them in different kits from that. You can see the screen just up there as well. They've got that included, but the stadium's looking pretty good in this year's FIFA. It'd be nice to have seen the Castor badges and stuff on the Gallowgate stand just to make it that bit more real. There you go. There's the Newcastle United with the flags above. Yeah, they've done a really good job with the stand. They always do. It's nice to see it without Sports Direct. It's nice to see it full. It would be nice to have seen a few flags because I think they do. I think if you went to say Liverpool, they would have a bit more of a, you know, the flags that they do, and go to places like Dortmund and they do all that sort of stuff. It's a shame they don't do that here. Maybe they do it if you play career mode. I don't know. This is just a friendly. But yeah, it's a pretty good representation of the stadium. So there you have it. That was just a quick look at FIFA 23 Newcastle United squad, the player faces, the kits, and also the stadium. It looks really good this year. They always improve on it little bits, I think, year on year. It's obviously never going to be a full change. It'll be interesting to see what happens next season because it's no longer going to be FIFA. I believe it's EA Sports Football Club or something like that. So whether they can keep all of their licenses that they have, we'll see what happens. But that is just a quick look. I thought we'd just run through that quickly before the game comes out, give you a little preview of what FIFA is going to look like on Friday when you get your hands on it. Or if you've got early access, I think tomorrow you get access from all the consoles. But anyway, thanks very much for watching this. If you do like this content, please hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 9,000 subscribers. We can almost touch it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little like button and the little bell icon, and it helps just get this video out to other people who are looking for content on YouTube. If you want to go one step further, you can always become a member of the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. It's $2.99 a month, and that gets you early access to videos. This video is probably going to go up early access. The match previews also go up early access. The fantasy football videos, I think Matty's got to be on the lines this week as well. That'll go early access for members. A whole host of early access and really good stuff for membership, and you also get access to the Telegram group. But that's it from me. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We do have some more FIFA content planned. We're thinking of doing a little tournament between the team in Gallowgateshots. So you'll be seeing some gameplay and some one-on-ones between some of your favorite people on the channel. But until then, I will see you in the next video. See you later.